Well, hello. This was a sudden live was gonna do. Thank you for posting the backup channel. Thank you for posting the sermon today. If people had missed that, um, it was a much needed sermon. Give a little bit of time for update or notification if YouTube even tries to help that out today. Probably not. But anyways, hello Haman, hello Mr. and Mrs. Joshua's trumpet, hello spiritual sniper, hello mom, hello to whoever else may be in here today. Have many things, not just the war going on, but really, I just think it was fitting to put a title as this: "All hell is breaking loose," because it really is everywhere, and we have got to definitely start taking things more seriously with what's going on in today's world. Hello. So, Jesus will come again. Isn't that for sure? You know, he's going to come again. He told us he would and he's going to. So, like I said, I got many things I want to talk about, and if you missed that sermon today, check it out. I'll probably say that a couple more times throughout this. Lots going on. Before I go into anything, I want to show you in Paraguay, that's in South America. They didn't only get hit by a tornado, but they are flooding as of today.
Vámonos allá, Marcelo. Mira dónde está la camioneta. Mira dónde se fue aquella camioneta.
Hence the title, "All Hell is Breaking Loose," because guys, it's I just don't know how many more weather events there's going to be before people start saying, "Man, this is in the same place, same country. Right before the floods, there was a huge tornado."
Es que ya te avisaban ya de próximo que era. No, pues muito cai. Muito penderia, vamos lá.
Ahora pues tiene lo que.
This is in Paraguay, South America. They're not only flooded today, they had a very massive, that's a massive tornado. So, like I said, people are just not seeing these things. Now I'm going to go, I do believe this was the next one I'm going to click on is in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. They had extreme flooding. Now, I have another video, but I'm going to save that one for a little bit later because it's going to go on some other things. But we had a 6.0 earthquake that hits off the coast of, however you say Vanidua or however you say this place, but they had a 6.0 that hit right off this coast. This coast has been getting hit a lot lately with massive. I haven't really seen any in the past 3 weeks under a 5 really in this area. So it's been predominantly really huge earthquakes happening in this place and the population's feeling it. And of course, it always gives that hazard of tsunamis because these small islands here are always very well known for having tsunamis after these things happen. But also, this volcano we've been talking about for the past week, it is finally full-fledged erupt. And it is shot 33,000 feet into the sky today. As it's starting to erupt and the ash clouds were reaching way up there. So it's still at a code orange is what they're saying here in Russia, as there's other things going on in Russia we're going to be talking about. But also, earthquake strikes under the San Francisco airport, leaving many on edge. This was today. A 3.7 earthquake struck San Francisco on Friday evening, with the epicenter under the city's international airport. And this started scaring some people on Friday when it happened. For some reason, people across San Francisco Bay Area, the quake produced a thud as if something large were hitting a nearby building. We know they're used to earthquakes over here, but I'm assuming since they're putting it like this, that thud, they have no idea where the thud came from and what happened during it. But either way, if it did do some damage underneath this place, that could be really big. We also had another mass shooting that happened in Tampa at a Halloween festival. 2 dead, 18 injured. That's probably been updated since then. That's 2 mass shootings this week alone in America. So definitely showing the signs of the times we are in, as people are, man, their hearts are waxing cold in today. And I have so many things that we were going to talk about with it, just Israel alone. The next video I was going to show is, this is in Russia. It is going really crazy in Russia right now with pro Hamas rallies and stuff.
Да, блядь, пидорас, блядь, откройте дверь. Заснул. Куда у тебя? Куда работать? Куда нам идти? Куда идти нам? Куда идти?
Man, I tell you, man, seeing tempers flaring throughout the world. As before I go to the other ones, there's Russians that storm the airport in an attempt to attack passengers of Israeli flight. There's so much going on, guys. It's just one thing after another.
Узбек, я не знаю. Узбек, я не знаю узбекский. Я родился уже в Смоленске.
Что это кружит? Смотрите, что мимо нас не прошли! А? Ты что здесь наебать решишь? Паспорт у меня! Куда он уехал?
Look, this is the sad point when we get into wars like this. There's innocent people on every side. I remember when 9/11 happened, not every single person, but there was a huge prejudice. Just anytime you seen somebody, it was like maybe they're a terrorist. And we see this. Not everybody's a bad guy. Not everybody's a good guy. Unity is something that I try to push so much, even though some people may not think that, because I preach sin, I preach hell, I preach heaven, I preach all them things. But all kidding aside, I hope for unity with people. But the fact is, rioters are searching hotels for Jews. This is happening in Russia right now. as they're searching for anybody that is of Jewish descent. I've seen headlines this whole week where even Brooklyn, New York, is telling anybody that is a Jew to pretty much hide your faith. I'm seeing just throughout the whole world, even in Indiana where I live, there has been pro-Hamas things going on, protests. And the thing is, most of these people that are protesting, they have no idea about any side. They've never studied any of the culture of any side. They've never studied any of their religion on any side. They just pick a side because it's trending. And a lot of them may not like what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it truthfully. A lot of them were that unpopular kid in high school. So as soon as they got a chance to have a megaphone in their mouth and have everybody give them some attention, they come out of their grandma's basement and they start getting attention from people and they feel empowered. See, the thing is when you go out in the streets like we do with street preaching, it's not to be empowered. It is to spread the truth. Jesus said, go out into the streets. Look, only reason why I'm bringing that up too is because when they are done coming after the Jews, they're going to come after the Christians. And I'm not going to stop street preaching when that happens, because I was given a commandment to preach the gospel like all of us were. And this is going to continue to ignite and erupt as the days go by. It's not going to get any better. Let's just be real about it. It's not. There is blood being spilled, and that only leads to anger. So Chief Rabbi warns against allowing extremists in Russia. In a recent meeting with President Vladimir Putin, Russian Chief Rabbi told Putin, we have not encountered state anti-Semitism for many years, and there is no anti-Semitism on the street either, but we have experience from the past. Therefore, our main request to the authorities, federal and local, a constant and uncompromised fight against extremists. I don't see this happening in Russia right now. I really don't. Right now, the videos I've just shown, it is escalating. But they're saying local Muslim leaders condemn violence. That's why if this is true, it's why I'm saying there's good people on both sides. There's people on the other side that don't want this any more than anyone else. So that's where we have to have unity in realizing that there is people on both sides that do not want things to happen. And then there's always those extremists that want things to happen. And the fact is, they're happening. Mass shootings happening everywhere, earthquakes, tornadoes in places don't happen, flooding in the middle of the deserts. When are people going to finally realize that the book of Revelation is not a fairy tale? It's something real. And this war is continuing to escalate as they are doing this. We've seen just 9 minutes ago several rockets fired from Syria at northern Israel. So when is the next thing going to happen here in Syria again? The United States bombed them not too long ago. Let me hit the update button on this real quick. Says nothing new. Okay. So as we continue to see all these things happening, we need to know it's time to seek the Lord more. Now, another thing I'm going to say too is this is a prophecy watch. It definitely is. I will agree. There's a lot of things I never agree with end time headlines, but I will agree on things like this because Turkey is a massive piece to this. They are. They're part of the Magog alliance, but they're also part of NATO, I do believe. I do believe they're part of NATO. But are they going to join in? There was really, really big meeting with him earlier and a lot of predominant chilling warnings that he was giving towards them. It says in the same speech, he reportedly said that Turkey can come at night unexpectedly. And they've already shown their naval, there's many fleets of their naval, boats and stuff out there starting to already show their force in their Navy. And not just that, Iran was practicing, I do believe yesterday, shooting off their rockets, flying their aircraft. They are doing practice runs at things that may be taking place very soon. Yeah, Turkey is NATO. I thought they were. So will they not be NATO very long? I mean, we don't know. All I know is that he is basically saying they are ready to go to war. There's been many headlines in the past 2 days. They're ready to go to war with Israel. And of course, what's that going to do with NATO-backed people that are in the same coalition? Iran practicing today, Syria, Lebanon. What will we start seeing people like Sudan and places like this getting involved before too long? Maybe. And maybe Russia having all this stuff happening here is part of because they're finally getting their 2 cents in on all this. But nationwide, worldwide, the whole world, there's protests going on in every country over this. Every country has a protest going on right now. And Israel is now sending in elite troops in the Gaza Strip for a long war. They're prepping for a long war, is what they are saying. They are prepping for a very long war. So, yeah, for me, it's win-win. Yeah, I mean, it's all about to happen exactly. War makes me sick too, but all things must come to pass. We got to realize we are a revelation generation. All things must come to pass. All these things must happen. That's why we have to be so serious in the word and fellowship and in seeking the Lord. I mean, not just these signs, people saying that, oh, well, they just complain about everything the Bible says anymore. It is what it is. But Israel said its best soldiers were fighting Hamas inside the Gaza Strip on Saturday, as Prime Minister Benjamin declared that the second stage of a long war against the terror group had begun. So these next few days, next few weeks, next few months, what can we see happening? I do know I was looking at a map the other night and realizing I do think they have a nuclear power plant not very far from Gaza. I can't really confirm that. I know it said nuclear, but all nuclear power plants are right by a big body of water. That's in case a meltdown happens. But also, Iranian president on Saturday issued a warning to Israel and its ally, the United States, warning that the nation had crossed the red lines. So I think it's a matter of time before they start joining in. I really do think it's just a matter of time before they put their military into combat here. Could be wrong, but not making a prediction, just saying eventually at some point in time, these Magog Alliance people will eventually start throwing all chips in. I mean, it's just a matter of time before we start seeing this. So they're saying the Zionist regime crimes have crossed the red lines, which may force everyone to take action. And I did a video, I think it was 2 days ago, about the new axis of evil. And of course, this guy's picture was in it. So before too long, what are we going to see? Anybody that joined in, we gave some videos in the beginning of a tornado in Paragon and or not Paragon, over there in South America, along with flooding in the same day, flooding in Mecca, earthquakes, volcanoes everywhere, earthquakes and mass shootings and all these things going on. We know that our redemption draws near. We know that it's time to really take some things serious, as Haman had shared here, and I do believe Mr. Josh Trump shared too. Check that sermon out from earlier today. Even if you went to church, get spiritually fed twice. I think it's really key. The YouTube algorithm has definitely been hiding a lot of things. I think the algorithm is going to open back up for us Christians again here real soon, because they flipped the switch on and off when it comes to this things. The first 2 weeks, they flipped it on. Everybody that was a Christian channel was trending that week. Then the next week, they flipped it off. I think they're about to flip the switch back on because they won a holy war, and they got a holy war, and they want to get sides all in a debacle and arguing back and forth. So it is what it is. And hit the like button if you have not. I'm feeling a little better. I've been off and on battling a sickness. It's definitely not helped. Before I preached, I felt like I was about to pass out. Then I preached and was sustained, came home, felt bad. Then I started feeling good again. So the change of the weather is not helping. But anyways, do you think our God is happy with Israel's action? Do you think Israel jumped the shark or self? I don't think God is happy with any nation right now, to tell you the truth. Is there really any godly leaders? Is there any leaders that are truly following? Do we have any leaders like David today? No, we don't. I think God's tired of the rainbow flags being flown everywhere. God's tired of the mocking his word. How's our grandson? He's doing good. He's I think he gained a tiny bit of weight. We're going to start seeing him every Friday. It's a long journey. Like when our son was a premature baby, it was a 3-month journey in the hospital with him. They got to get to a certain weight. They have to be able to, of course, suck, breathe, and swallow as they take a bottle all at the same time, and remember to breathe. And a lot of times, babies at that age, not fully developed, they have that hard concept of being able to do that. So alone with the weight will probably take a couple months for him to get to the weight that they like. But he did have his first bowel movement yesterday, I do believe, which is a very good sign. He's still on light oxygen. Junior wasn't on oxygen as long as he was, but I think they're just taking a precaution. Like I told my wife when we left the hospital, we had been through this journey before. I think that the hospital rushed with Junior because they knew we had 4 kids at home. And compared to Lauren and Jacob, this is their first kid. So I think the hospital really rushed with Junior because they knew we had a big family at home already. So it was definitely something, a learning experience maybe for both sides. Hospitals daily still learn when it comes to premature babies, new things. Yeah. That's what I was talking about. I really think Turkey is going to throw their chips into this here really soon, if not even tonight. It's just is there a certain age for baptism? I would say age of accountability, and I say that a lot. Every kid is different with the age of accountability. As soon as they know right from wrong, they're pretty much the age of accountability. Some kids, it takes them longer to develop that. Like I'd say my son at 7 years old, I think that he knows right from wrong. He's a couple times said things during street preaching, so I think he is at that age, but I'm also waiting till he's ready. But other than that, I think just gauge between, knowing if your kid is absolutely ready for it and if they know right from wrong, definitely. That's actually a really good question. I think sometimes when we do it as soon as they're a baby, it's way too soon because a baby, they can only coo and caw. There's really no, um, bad in them because they're just. But either way, I know some people like text stream baptize a baby, then they got baptized again. So it is what it is. I think a parent is the best at telling, or a guardian or a grandparent best at telling when the kid is at the age of accountability. So yeah, they can understand what salvation is and all that, exactly like Mr. Joshua Trumpet saying. Um, like I said, that's gauged between difference on children. Some kids, just takes them longer to get to know right from wrong than others. Some get to know it quicker than others. So, what is that? Google recently made changes. Yeah, they made that algorithm change. I do believe about 3 or 4 months ago, they made an algorithm change that it was based on the like button instead of views. And that's because their algorithm takes likes away more than it takes views away. So it helped them really suppress. For instance, every time I end a stream, I lose like 5 likes every time I end a stream. So that's just a way for them. That's why we push the like button so much. It's not like it gives somebody like $1,000,000 when you do it, but the like button, it's the way their algorithm works. And then they also go against the title. I mean, if your title says Jesus in it, they immediately flag it. I was like, hey, and a lot of my titles have Jesus in it, and that's just and I've noticed that. Like, for instance, I had a title that had Jesus in it, and no one got notified. I have people in Telegram group, I have people that personally text me. They didn't get notified, but then I did like an update and then they got notified on that. So that's just exactly how it works. We know that the algorithm system is a beast and it does not like anything to do with truth. And I'm one of those that don't beat around the bush. I will say, I'll just straight up say, the LGBTQ community. I'm not gonna, push around the boat on that. There's only one word I will beat around the bush with, and I call it the jab, because that's one where they will straight up delete your channel if you end up saying things other than that. But other than that, that is, yeah, I've had a lot of people get unsubscribed too. I had my mom one time before I started a Sunday sermon about 3 weeks ago. She showed me, she hit on her phone, she hit like, notified that the sermon's coming on. 3 seconds later, it took notify off and like off, and it did it like 20 times in a row. So they like to take the notifications away. They like to do that. And it's expected. It's going to get worse on the internet trying to push. I do have backups. I have Telegram where we not just communicate, but I push the content we're doing on there out so people get notified. I have a Facebook. That's kind of up and down with them. Last week, somehow I got a video that got 13,000 views on Facebook. So that was like really unexpected for Facebook to allow me to get 13,000 views on a video. And then the next week I was getting like 15 views. So it is. So they shouldn't suppress based on religion or they shouldn't suppress anything in general. I mean, I am big at pushing the name of our Lord, but at the same point, I'm not going to force a horse to the watering trough. If somebody doesn't believe in God and they believe in a different religion, I'm not going to force them to believe my religion that I face, here with Jesus Christ. So really, when it comes to internet, you start a channel, you should be able to do whatever you want to do on it, except being completely, racist, for instance, or really hatred or showing really vulgar, unnecessary videos. I do believe if you the Telegram is Biblical Truth. Share that on there if you can before we end this. My wife brought me ice cream. I'm going to eat this. It's going to help with my sore throat. This wasn't going to be a really long update. I just wanted to give some things. Tomorrow, be looking out for some things. Tuesday, we have the Hebrew and Greek wordplay for Revelation. Actually, there is no Hebrew word for that. There's only Greek. So we're going to be studying on Apocalypse, which is perfect for the 31st. So, and then Wednesday, we will be doing, these are all at 7 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday, we will be doing the book of John, chapter 16. So, yeah, ice cream will make it better. It's chocolate we get from a local farm around here. So I will go eat that in a second. Oh, thank you for being here. I try to explain as much as I can. I'm Eastern time, in case anybody needs to know. I'm Eastern time. And that's one thing I liked your comment there. Like I don't I don't get into that conversation with people where they start dogging it, because I know some Spanish people that have the spelling of Jesus, but they pronounce it Jesus, or you get some people that Yahshua or Yeshua. I know all the names in all different languages. I mean, if I was preaching straight to some Hebrews, just Hebrews only, I would be using the Hebrew name. But because I have so many different nationalities and countries that pop on in here, I just use the name that's most commonly known to everybody. So much love to you all, and may God bless you all. And be looking out for some videos, knowing that the YouTube does not help. Sometimes that's why I double share things on my community tab, because community tab hides a lot of things. We'll share that sermon one more time. If you didn't get to watch it, definitely go in there and watch it. It was a really good one. I think it was needed for this day and time, for what people meant for evil. God meant for good. So we got to remember those promises and stay strong. And I had a new intro to this, and I got a new outro to every video now too. So thank you all, and much love. If you like videos like this, hit the like button and subscribe. Much love to you all. And may God bless you.